What happens when royalty meets reality television and the cameras capture every single second of the meltdown? In just 38 seconds, a prince goes from composed guest to complete disaster, all because he could not handle a simple question from one of morning television's most beloved hosts. Good Morning America's studio was buzzing with the usual energy that comes with a live broadcast. Sam Champion, the weatherman who had become a household name for his warmth and professionalism, she was filling in as a guest host that morning. The network had secured an interview with Prince Harry, and everyone expected it to be the kind of lighthearted conversation that morning shows are known for. Nobody expected what was about to unfold. Prince Harry walked onto the set with the confidence of someone who had done 1,000 interviews before. He shook Sam's hand, flashed that famous smile for the cameras, and settled into the guest chair. The audience applauded. Everything seemed normal. Everything seemed fine. Sam opened with his signature friendly tone. "Welcome to Good Morning America. It is so great to have you here with us today." "Thank you for having me," Prince Harry replied, leaning back in his chair like he owned the place. Sam glanced down at his notes, then looked up with that genuine smile he was known for. "So, you have been doing a lot of work recently with various charities and causes. Can you tell our viewers about what you have been focusing on?" It was a softball question. The kind of question that gets asked on every morning show. The kind of question that should have been easy to answer. But something in Prince Harry's expression shifted. His jaw tightened. His eyes narrowed just slightly. "Well, Sam," he started, and there was an edge to his voice that had not been there seconds before. "I have been focusing on things that actually matter. Not the kind of fluff that gets talked about on shows like this." The studio went quiet. Not the comfortable quiet of people listening intently, but the awkward quiet of people who just heard something they were not supposed to hear. Sam's smile did not waver. He was a professional. He had handled difficult guests before. "Well, I think our viewers would love to hear about the work you're doing," Sam said, keeping his tone light and encouraging. "We have millions of people watching who care about these issues." Prince Harry let out a short laugh. Not a friendly laugh. Not an amused laugh. A condescending laugh. "Do they? Do they really care, Sam? Or do they just want to hear celebrity gossip while they eat their breakfast?" Sam maintained his composure. His hands were folded calmly on the desk. His expression stayed friendly. "I think you would be surprised by how engaged our audience is. Matao! We get letters and emails every single day from people who want to make a difference in the world." "Letters and emails," Prince Harry repeated, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "How quaint. How absolutely American." That was when the crew members started exchanging glances. That was when the producers in the control room started whispering into their headsets. This was not going the way anyone had planned. Sam took a breath. A small breath, but noticeable if you were paying attention. "I'm not sure I understand what you mean by that." "Of course you do not," Prince Harry said, leaning forward now, his elbows on his knees. "You people are so caught up in your little bubble of morning television that you have no idea what is actually happening in the real world." The camera operators did not know where to look. The audience sat frozen. This was live television. This was happening right now, in real time, and there was no way to stop it. Sam's voice remained steady, calm, professional. "I think our viewers would disagree with you on that. We cover important stories every single day. We talk about issues that matter to real people." "Important stories," Prince Harry scoffed. "Like what? The latest diet fad? The newest celebrity breakup? Give me a break, Sam." "We cover a wide range of topics," Sam replied, and there was the slightest hint of firmness creeping into his voice now. Just a hint. Just enough to remind Prince Harry that he was not in charge here. Health, politics, human interest stories, international news. We try to give our viewers a complete picture of the world. "A complete picture," Prince Harry said, shaking his head. That is rich. That is really rich, coming from someone who stands in front of a green screen and points at cartoon suns. The audience gasped. Actually gasped. You could hear it ripple through the studio. Sam Champion was beloved. He had been doing weather for years. See, he had covered hurricanes and blizzards and heat waves. He had earned his place on that stage, and everyone knew it. Sam's smile finally faded. Not into anger, not into frustration, into something more like disappointment. The kind of disappointment a teacher shows a student who should know better. I have been doing this job for a very long time, Sam said quietly, and I have never, not once, claimed to be anything other than what I am. A meteorologist who cares about keeping people safe and informed. Safe and informed, Prince Harry laughed again. Is that what you call it? I call it entertainment dressed up as news. Then why did you agree to come on the show? Sam asked. It was a fair question, a reasonable question. The kind of question that should have made Prince Harry pause and think. But Prince Harry did not pause. He did not think. Instead, he stood up. Actually, stood up from his chair, his microphone still clipped to his jacket. I came on this show because my publicist told me it would be good for my image, he said, his voice rising now. But I should have known better. I should have known that coming on a program like this would be a waste of my time. Sam stood up too, but slowly, calmly. His movements were measured. I am sorry you feel that way. But I think if you sat back down, we could have a real conversation about the work you are doing. That is what people want to hear about. A real conversation, Prince Harry shot back. You would not know a real conversation if it hit you in the face. All you know how to do is smile and nod and ask your scripted questions. Those scripted questions were approved by your team, Sam said, and now there was steel in his voice. Real steel. Every single question I was planning to ask you was sent to your people 3 days ago. They signed off on all of them. Prince Harry's face flushed red. My team does not speak for me. Then maybe you should speak to them about that, Sam replied, because right now, on live television, you are making yourself look very foolish. The audience was completely silent now, the kind of silence that happens when people cannot believe what they are witnessing. The kind of silence that comes right before something explosive. Foolish? Prince Harry's voice went up an octave. You are calling me foolish? Do you have any idea who you are talking to? Sam crossed his arms. I am talking to a guest on my show who agreed to be here and is now insulting me, my colleagues, and our viewers. That is who I am talking to. Your show, Prince Harry spat. This is not your show, Sam. You are just a weatherman who got lucky. You read a teleprompter and point at maps. Do not act like you are some kind of serious journalist. That was it. That was the line. Sam Champion had been patient, and he had been professional. He had given Prince Harry every opportunity to calm down and reset, but there was only so much a person could take. I have covered hurricanes that destroyed entire communities, Sam said, his voice quiet but powerful. I have reported from disaster zones where people lost everything they owned. I have dedicated my career to helping people understand and prepare for dangerous weather. And you know what? I have never once claimed to be more important than I am. I have never looked down on the people I serve. And I certainly have never treated anyone with the kind of disrespect you are showing right now. Prince Harry opened his mouth to respond, but Sam was not finished. You came on this show as a guest. You agreed to this interview. And from the moment you sat down, you have done nothing but insult me, insult this program, and insult the millions of people who watch us every morning. Them people who wake up early and go to work and try to do their best every single day. People who do not think they are better than everyone else just because of who their family is. The control room was in chaos. Producers were yelling into headsets. Lawyers were probably already on the phone, but nobody cut to commercial. Nobody stopped the cameras. This was too big. This was too real. Prince Harry's face was bright red now. His hands were clenched into fists at his sides. "How dare you speak to me that way? How dare you? How dare I?" Sam's eyebrows went up. "How dare you? You are a guest in this country. You are a guest on this show, and you are acting like a spoiled child who did not get his way." "I do not have to listen to this," Prince Harry said, reaching for his microphone. "You are absolutely right," Sam agreed. "You do not have to listen to this. You can leave anytime you want. In fact, I think it would be better for everyone if you did." The audience was not even breathing at this point. Every eye in the studio was locked on the two men standing face to face. "Fine!" Prince Harry snapped, yanking the microphone off his jacket. The clip caught on the fabric, and he had to struggle with it for a second, which only made him angrier. "This is exactly what I should have expected from American television. No class, no respect, just cheap drama." Sam just looked at him. Calm, steady, unshaken. "I respect people who deserve respect. People who treat others with kindness and dignity. Right now, you are not showing me any reason to respect you." Prince Harry threw the microphone onto the chair. It bounced once and fell to the floor with a loud thud that echoed through the studio. "You have no idea who you are dealing with." "I am dealing with someone who cannot handle a simple interview," Sam said. Someone who came on a morning show and could not even be polite for 10 minutes. "This is not over," Prince Harry said, pointing a finger at Sam. "Actually, it is," Sam replied. "This interview is over. You need to leave the set. Now." For a moment, Prince Harry just stood there, like he could not believe what was happening, like he expected Sam to back down or apologize, or somehow make this all go away. But Sam did not move, did not blink, did not back down even a single inch. "You will regret this," Prince Harry said, his voice shaking now, with anger or embarrassment or both. "The only person who should have regrets right now is you," Sam said. "Security will show you out." 2 security guards appeared from the wings. They did not touch Prince Harry. They did not have to. They just stood there, waiting. Prince Harry looked at Sam one more time. His mouth opened like he was going to say something else. Something cutting. Something that would let him have the last word. But nothing came out. Instead, he turned sharply on his heel and stormed off the set, the security guards following behind him. The studio doors slammed shut. The sound echoed through the silent space. Sam stood there for a moment, his hands on his hips, taking a deep breath. Then he turned to the camera. His face was calm, professional, like nothing unusual had just happened. "Well," he said, and there was the hint of a smile at the corner of his mouth. "That was unexpected. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have a much more pleasant conversation with our next guest, who I am sure will remember their manners." The audience erupted, not in gasps this time, in applause. Loud, sustained applause. They were clapping for Sam, for his composure, for the way he had handled an impossible situation with grace and strength. Sam gave a small wave to acknowledge them, then waited for the commercial break. The second the red light on the camera went off, he let out a long breath and sat down heavily in his chair. One of the producers rushed over. "Are you okay?" "I'm fine," Sam said. "Is he gone?" "He is in his car. Security escorted him all the way to the parking garage." Sam nodded. "Good. Make sure someone gets that microphone off the floor before we come back from break." In the green room, backstage, the next guest had watched the whole thing on the monitor. She was a cookbook author who had been scheduled to talk about her new recipes. Simple, easy, safe television. "Is it still safe for me to go on?" she asked nervously. Her publicist patted her arm. "Sam Champion is the nicest man in television. You will be fine. Just do not insult him, and you will be absolutely fine." Back in the studio, a makeup artist was touching up Sam's face powder. "That was incredible," she whispered. "I have never seen anything like that." "I have been doing this for 20 years, Sam said quietly, "and I have never had a guest act like that. Not once." "What did he expect to happen?" the makeup artist asked. Sam shook his head. "I have no idea. Maybe he thought I would just sit there and take it. Maybe he thought his status would protect him. I do not know." The floor director gave the 30-second warning. Sam straightened his tie and took a sip of water. When the cameras came back on, yet he was smiling, warm, professional, ready to move on. "Welcome back to Good Morning America," he said smoothly. "Now, let's talk about something much more pleasant. Food. I am joined now by culinary expert Maria Rodriguez, who has just released a new cookbook that I am very excited to discuss." Maria walked onto the set with a nervous smile. She sat down carefully, like the chair might still be hot from the previous guest. "Thank you so much for having me," she said. "Or it is our pleasure," Sam said warmly. "And I promise this will be a much more enjoyable conversation than the last one." The audience laughed. The tension broke. The show went on. Meanwhile, in the parking garage, Prince Harry sat in the back of his car, his face still flushed with anger. His publicist was already on the phone, doing damage control. His phone was buzzing with texts and calls. But none of that mattered. What mattered was that 38 seconds after Sam Champion asked him a simple question about his charity work, he had completely fallen apart. He had insulted a beloved television host. He had insulted an entire audience. He had made himself look entitled and arrogant and completely out of touch, and it had all been caught on live television. Back in the studio, as Sam chatted easily with Maria about her cookbook, someone retrieved the discarded microphone from the floor. It was scratched from being thrown, a fitting symbol of what had just happened. A guest had come on the show expecting to be treated like royalty, expecting deference and special treatment. Instead, he had met Sam Champion, a man who had built his career on being genuine, kind, and professional, a man who would bend over backwards to make guests feel comfortable, but a man who would not tolerate disrespect, not to himself, not to his colleagues, and certainly not to the viewers who trusted him every single morning. The interview with Maria went perfectly. She talked about her recipes with enthusiasm. Sam asked thoughtful questions. The audience was engaged and happy. It was exactly what morning television was supposed to be. When the show ended and the cameras turned off, the crew gathered around Sam. Everyone wanted to know if he was really okay. Everyone wanted to talk about what had happened. "I am fine," Sam assured them. "Really. It was unfortunate, but it is over now." "You handled it perfectly," one of the camera operators said. "You did not lose your cool once." Sam smiled. "I have been doing this long enough to know that staying calm is the only way to handle situations like that. If I had gotten angry or defensive, it would have just made things worse." "Still," the camera operator said, "that took guts. He is a prince, and he could have made things very difficult for you." "He is a guest who forgot how to act like one," Sam said simply. "His title does not give him the right to treat people poorly." The network executives were already in emergency meetings. Legal was reviewing the footage. Public relations was preparing statements. But the more they watched the tape, the more they realized something important. Sam Champion had done nothing wrong. He had been professional. He had been patient. And he had given Prince Harry every opportunity to course correct. And when that did not work, he had stood his ground. The audience reaction was immediate and overwhelming. Social media exploded with support for Sam. People were praising him for standing up to entitled behavior. People were sharing clips of the confrontation. People were talking about how refreshing it was to see someone refuse to be bullied, even by royalty. Sam did not read any of it. He had learned a long time ago not to get caught up in the social media storm. Instead, he focused on what mattered: the next show, the next guest, the next opportunity to connect with viewers and provide them with information and entertainment. That evening, as he was leaving the studio, one of the producers stopped him. "The network wants you to know they are fully behind you," the producer said. 100%. What you did today was exactly right." Sam nodded. "I appreciate that. But I did not do it for the network. I did it because it was the right thing to do." "I know," the producer said. "That is why everyone is so impressed." Sam walked out to his car, got in, and drove home. Tomorrow there would be another show, another set of guests, another opportunity to do his job with integrity and professionalism. And somewhere else, Prince Harry was dealing with the consequences of forgetting a very simple rule. When you are a guest, you behave like a guest. You show respect. You show courtesy. You remember that the platform you are standing on belongs to someone else, and they have every right to ask you to leave if you cannot conduct yourself properly. It had taken 38 seconds for everything to go wrong. 38 seconds from a simple question to a complete meltdown. 38 seconds from sitting comfortably in a chair to being escorted out by security. All because a prince could not handle being treated like everyone else. Back in the studio, as Sam chatted easily with Maria about her cookbook, someone retrieved the discarded microphone from the floor. It was scratched from being thrown. A fitting symbol of what had just happened. A guest had come on the show expecting to be treated like royalty, expecting deference and special treatment. Instead, he had met Sam Champion, a man who had built his career on being genuine, kind, and professional. A man who would bend over backwards to make guests feel comfortable, but a man who would not tolerate disrespect. Sam had tried. He had really tried to make the interview work. Before the cameras started rolling, he had chatted with Prince Harry. Normal small talk. Prince Harry had been polite enough then. A little stiff, maybe. But nothing that set off alarm bells. The crew had noticed it, though. The way Prince Harry had looked around the studio with disdain. The way he had barely acknowledged the crew members. Looking back, Sam could pinpoint the exact moment things shifted. It was when Sam had smiled at him. That genuine, warm smile he gave to every guest. Prince Harry had not smiled back. He had looked at Sam like he was something to be tolerated. And that was when Sam knew this was going to be difficult. The comment about pointing at cartoon suns had been the breaking point. Not just because it was insulting, but because it showed such complete disrespect for the work Sam did. Work that had helped people prepare for hurricanes. Work that had potentially saved lives. Prince Harry did not know anything about that work. The late nights tracking storms. The early mornings reporting from evacuation zones. He did not know. And he did not care. What he cared about was making himself feel superior. And Sam was not going to let that happen. The audience had been incredible. Their gasp when Prince Harry insulted Sam had been genuine shock. Their applause when he left had been genuine support. They understood that Sam had done the right thing. When Prince Harry had stood up, Sam had known it was over, but Sam had not let him leave on his own terms. Sam had told him to leave, had made it clear that this was Sam's studio, Sam's show. The look on Prince Harry's face had been priceless. Complete shock, like he could not believe someone was telling him what to do. The microphone hitting the floor had been the perfect ending. Showed Prince Harry trying to make a dramatic exit, and instead just looking petulant. Sam had not even flinched, had just stood there, calm and composed. The transition to Maria had been seamless. Sam was proud of that, and Maria had been wonderful. Sweet and enthusiastic, and exactly what the show needed after such a tense moment. That was what morning television was supposed to be. Uplifting, informative, engaging. Not a platform for entitled guests to look down on everyone around them. None of the other guests who had sat in that chair had ever acted the way Prince Harry had, And that said everything about the difference between people who had earned their platform and people who thought they deserved it simply because of who they were born to be. 38 seconds. That was all it took for everything to fall apart. 38 seconds from a simple question to complete chaos. All because someone forgot the most basic rule of being a guest. Show respect.